Well, thanks for talking to us, sir. Let's begin by asking you about the industry. Majorly, the growth has been, or maybe partly, driven by incentives. How do you see the transition from incentive-driven growth to market-driven growth? What policy measure can come from your side? How do you see this whole journey going from here on?
See, the automobile vehicles, particularly the electric vehicles, that is in a nascent stage across the world. And more so in India, it is at a nascent stage. And in the beginning, I think it is important for the government to support the industry through incentives, through subsidies, through non-fiscal measures also, regulatory measures. But once the industry matures, then I think it is time for the industry to stand on its own feet. And the incentives for the electric vehicles, particularly in India, started in 2014-15 when the FAME-1 scheme was introduced. And it has been about nearly 10 years. And I think that now the industry is sufficiently matured. If you look at the technology which is used by some of the Indian companies, that is almost as par with one of the best technologies in the world. And therefore, I think that it is the right time to taper down the subsidies. And given the competitiveness, innovation, and the kind of products which the industry is coming out, I think it will be a market-driven scenario of the industry going forward.
What are the important, asks or maybe need or requirements of the industry is the important skill sets. Now, how do you see the government and other stakeholders coming together to provide the need or fulfill the need of having the proper skill sets needed for the sector?
For the past several years, there has been an emphasis on cleaner and greener technologies and efficient powertrains. And a new skill set is needed for electric vehicles, for ethanol, for flex fuels, for hydrogen vehicles. I think India is one of the largest skilled manpowers in the world. But the need is to reorient that, and first is to find out what skills are needed for the new industry which is emerging. And for that, SIAM has done an excellent work, and they have identified what are the skill sets needed for this new industry. The Automobile Skill Development Council, which works in close coordination with the Ministry of Heavy Industries, have also identified these qualification packs, and they have developed new training curriculum which can be used to impart these skills. So I think together with the industry, the government is looking forward to create these skill sets, design new curriculum, make qualification packs, and then roll out these programs accordingly.
And so last thing on the global level, how do you compare India's ecosystem versus global ecosystem? Like in Norway, it's highly successful, but India is still going towards that phase. So how do you compare global scenario with the Indian scenario?
You see, it is, if you look at the number of vehicles in Norway or any of the Nordic countries with India, the difference is like day and night. Our numbers are so huge that that comparison may not be very apt. But I must say that India is now one of the leading countries as far as technology is concerned. We are world number 3 in passenger cars. We are in electric two-wheelers. We are at world number 2, even though China is ahead of us. But Chinese two-wheelers are a lot of them are of a low-speed variety. Our two-wheelers are high speed, more than 25 kilometers per hour. And our technology, our powertrains are one of the best in the world in two-wheelers. And similarly in three-wheelers, we are placed at the world's best position. So both in terms of numbers and in terms of the technologies, we are quite ahead. Yes, where we are lacking is the penetration. And that too with select countries. For example, in passenger cars, we are now at about 1.9% of the new cars sold. In US, there are about 11% new cars sold. In Europe, we have about 24%. Even in China, we have only 36%. So in cars, we are beginning our journey. But I think looking at the amount of R&D effort which the industry is putting in and the emphasis on skills, I think all the scenarios will go to change.
Fine, sir. Thank you so much, sir.